Good morning, not from the off-grid property. I'm actually at my house right now, and if you can't tell, behind me is a brand new, I mean that literally brand new, from the RV dealership, our Transcend 1 pop-up camper. It's not a pop-up camper, it is a regular camper. If you've been following the journey on our channel of finding the perfect RV, this is the third RV that we've had in the last year. And Heather is quick to remind me of that fact. We've had Loki, our pop-up camper, for several years and used it for 30 trips or so, used it a ton. And then I purchased a camper from a family member at a great price. I just couldn't pass it up. But unfortunately, it was just too big, too much. It had an outdoor kitchen that we never used, all this space that we didn't use, all this storage that we didn't need. And it was 33 feet long. So I went from 17 feet to 33 feet. And now this one is 20 feet. And that is from the tip of the trailer to the tip of the trailer. And so I think this is the perfect size for our family. And I'm really excited. I paid $153 out of pocket for it after the trade-in. So pretty much an even swap. So an older, bigger camper for a smaller, newer, nicer camper. So I'm going to get all of our stuff that we pulled out of our old camper in there, and Heather's gonna help me. It's a beautiful morning and it's gonna be great. So it's gonna be a great morning, and we're excited to have this camper. Hopefully it's gonna be our 20-year camper, so for a long time. And I don't have to pay to have it stored anywhere. I can put it right here in my backyard. So God bless you. Get out there, explore God's creation, and we'll get on with the video for today. Yes, so this is our Transcend 1 20-foot camper, and it is really nice being really new, but at the same time, I'm always like super hesitant that I'm gonna like mess up one little thing, and I don't know, it's a mental thing, I guess. But from the outside, we have storage over here. This goes pretty much all the way through. It does have an inverter in there in case I want to go off the grid for solar, and y'all know that I'm all about off grid, so maybe that's something that we'll do eventually. It's got the nice tinted windows, which is great for privacy and everything. It's got real steps here, which is awesome. I'm excited to keep having that feature versus the pop-up, which was just kind of hanging from everything. There's a nice screen door here that we can have open during the winter time. It's got a bar to get up and down. This is a cool feature. It's got a JBL speaker system there in the camper, and it's also on the interior, which means that we can have surround sound if we wanted to like connect a TV or something. But typically when we're at campgrounds and things, we're out doing stuff, not just in the camper. But if we want to do like nighttime movies or something like that, that is an option. What else? Up here we do have an LED lighting bar that comes on. And we have a little awning that comes out.
Watch the door.
Watch the door. See, I'm already breaking stuff. So that'll be really nice to keep things nice and clean. We're really not much of like sit out under an awning, but when you put shoes and chairs and stuff out here, it's good to keep it out of the weather. I just gave Heather a little tour around it, and I noticed several things that I didn't even know were on it as I was actually looking closer. So I'll show you a few features here on the back. It's pre-run for TV here, also more electricity down here. And so it's got some regular 110 outlets here. It is a single axle, not a double. Honestly, I think that there's advantages to both. With a single axle, when you hit a bump, you feel it a little more this way. But it does mean that turning is way easier, and you don't like cut corners when you're trying to turn and like go super wide. You don't have to do that. And because it's like 15 feet shorter than our old camper as well. 2 stabilizers in the back. It also has, it's pre-run for a backup camera, which is nice. And apparently you can climb on the roof because it has a ladder receiver, which is cool. This compartment back here is probably about 2 feet by 3 feet. It's small, but that's because there's bunk beds. I'm gonna show you here in a second. All your normal water hookups and things over here as well. All right, so come on in the camper. We'll show you the interior before we start packing it out with gear. Okay, so like I said before, the other camper was just way too big. It weighed about 3,000 pounds more than this camper. It's harder to pull, harder to maneuver. Trying to get gas in a large camper, no one ever told me how hard that was going to be. And almost wrecked my camper several times trying to get gas, but I digress. This camper is a lot smaller. It's kind of much more of the feels of camping because it's all one open space pretty much. So over here we have a real queen bed. It may actually be bigger. I think it's called a camper queen, but it also has this storage area back here which lifts up and provides even more foot room. So this bed is actually better and bigger than the 33-foot camper one. This over here, this is the other bed, and let's see here. This comes up and then comes down like a futon, and this will be probably Truman's bed for right now. And it's nice and big. I can figure it out. There we go. And then what's interesting about this camper, and this is just something that we decided on, it's just personal preference, is that the table is right under here and it's strapped in and it can come out and you can set up the table here to eat. But what we've realized with going to all the state parks and doing a ton of camping is that we eat most of our meals outside. And so we'll eat at a picnic table and things like that. So the table indoors is nice for when it's raining, but
or cold.
Yeah, or super cold or something like that. But we've realized that most of our meals are eaten outside, so a table in here is not as needed, but it's here if we want it. So that's a bonus of this setup. We have a ton of storage under here, which is going to be used primarily for luggage and just bags and things like that. We got more over to the side. So, you know, not a ton of storage.
Well, you've got that up there
more
too.
Up there.
Which honestly, I think you could put suitcases up there and duffel bags too.
Yeah, the lip is probably an inch or so, so not a ton. I don't want things falling down, but the key to, in my opinion, being comfortable while camping in a camper is electric blankets. That's how you stay warm during the winter without having to run the heater like crazy, and blankets are way better than sleeping bags in a camper setting. Which brings us to this over here. This is probably, and Heather, you can correct me if I'm wrong, one of the main reasons why we wanted to get this camper.
Absolutely.
And that is for bunk beds. So our old camper was really good for like two people staying somewhere for like weeks on end. But this has bunk beds, so all the kids have their own dedicated space. So I guess it'll probably be Anna on top and then Maddie down here. They have their own little lights, which is nice. They have USB and plugins and things if they need it. And then there's drawers under here for their clothes and things like that.
I love the drawers.
Yeah.
Because my plan is just to load them up with clothes that we just keep in here all the time.
Yep. So bedding and some staples we'll put elsewhere. But over here is the kitchen, and everything is operating just fine. We have our last camper had 3 sinks. It had one in the kitchen. It was a double, which was bigger and nicer than this one. It had one in the bathroom and had one outdoors. And we used the bathroom one a little bit, but mainly just one. And so again, we had a lot of value in things that we never used. This is just a much simpler setup. We've got
minimalism.
Yeah, that's right, minimalism. And so we've got 2 burners here, which is all that we've ever used, is a maximum of 2, and extra storage and stuff down here, drawers, cabinet space for all of that. Then we have a beautiful fridge here, which I think is big enough for our family of 4 for...
We have 5.
Or sorry, family of 5. I was thinking for 4 days, yeah. And so that's good. I haven't even looked at all the paperwork yet that we got with this. And then this is the microwave, and this was the one thing that didn't work when, well, it works. It's fully functional, but the button on it didn't want to open at the dealership. And so they're sending us a new one, but somehow between the drive, it was about a 3-hour drive from picking this up to home, now it's working. So I don't know, we may have a backup because they've ordered that already. So for whatever reason, it's now working, which is great. And then back here we have just our bathroom. That's the last little thing here, and this is great. Whew. I can tell I don't have the stabilizers down. I'm standing here on the end. I can feel it pulling up on my truck. But we have a toilet, a couple shelves, and then a small shower. Yeah, it does have electric heat and gas heat for the shower. So, all right, so that's pretty much it for the new camper. We had to unload and clean the old one before we traded it in, and so Heather and I are going to load this back up.
Fresh start.
Yeah, and again, this is more just, we don't want to own things that we're not going to use, and we don't want to pay for things that we're not going to use, and this is just so much more practical. And we're going to see here in a minute if it fits on the concrete pad in our backyard here at the house. But real excited about this. When the camper was so massive, it was hard to want to get it out. Does that make sense? Like, it was a lot of work to go and get it and to pull it and to go and do things. And this is much more nimble. And I think, you know, it'll help us if it's just Heather and I or me and one of the kids. We can go on these little trips now instead of feeling like we have to plan this massive trip. So, you know, one of my biggest convictions is getting out and exploring God's creation, and this is going to help us to do that even more so. So that's the new camper. We're going to get it loaded up and show you a few more things. But I think all right, we have sweated it out, but everything's done. I'm going to show you what we've got and pack it up and try and get it into our backyard. All right, so I've gone to about 40 Tennessee state parks, have about 20 left or so, and this camper is going to be the one that gets us there. All right, so that wraps up the tour of our new camper, and we need your help. We want to name the camper. One of three things. The first one was because it's a Transcend 1, I thought about Optimus Prime. And I don't know, it's black and white, just kind of looks futuristic, so that's option number 1. Option number 2 is that our first pop-up camper was a Viking pop-up camper, and we named it Loki. Our last camper was an Avengers camper, so we named it Thor. And so I'm wondering, is there a way we can creatively put a Marvel name in it? And then Heather has a possible third.
Well, this one is, I just thought it was kind of funny that we're kind of acting like Goldilocks, because in the story, she goes into the Three Bears house, and whatever she's doing, it's like the first thing is too little, and then the next thing is too big, but the third thing is just right. And so I think it's normally the Mama Bear stuff that is just right, so I thought about naming it Mama Bear. So that's another option.
So comment below, should it be Optimus, Mama Bear, or something else?
Yeah.
And let us know.
An Avengers or Marvel name.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That you think makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we just finished our first trip with our new 20-foot camper. What are your thoughts on how the first trip went and the new camper?
But it went really well. There wasn't a whole lot that I didn't like about it. I think the kids are still trying to figure out exactly where they want to sleep and all of that. Our mattress was a little hard, so I'm going to get a mattress pad to fix that. But otherwise, I think everything went really well. It's not too much and it's not too little. It's kind of like Goldilocks. It's just in the middle. It's just right. So we like it.